center field, who made SportsCenter top 10 top plays yesterday from game 1.
And you can't say yesterday that Marissa McCann, who started for Missouri, wasn't able to get ahead of the Texas hitters. She found herself in a lot of 0-2, 1-2 counts, but it was trying to find a pitch that she was able to get them out on, and you saw that leadoff by Ashton Maloney battling 5 pitches and finding a way to just get something going, and I think that's at times what makes their offense so tough. They don't freak out when they fall behind. They continue to find a way to keep fighting and get stuff going, and solid leadoff by Maloney and passing it to the speedy Caden Henry.
Henry takes up stairs. The top of the order, very good for Texas yesterday. The 1 through 5 hitters win a combined 8 for 14 with 6 RBIs, knocking in 6 of their 8 runs. At the 9 spot, you had Katie Bennett. She was 3 for 3, so she had 3 of those 4 hits for the 6 through 9 hitters. The 3-1 pitch to Henry. Bunts a foul, full count. Season 7 for head coach Mike White, whose team is the #1 team in the nation. They've been ranked as low as number 2 back to number 1, so they've been one of the favorites nationally all season.
Well, and for good reason. I think when you look at Texas as a whole and the returners that they were able to return from last year and making it to the Champ Series against Oklahoma, and the games and wins that they've been able to have this year. Yeah, they've lost some games. It's really tough to go undefeated in a college season, as we know, but pitching, they're dialed in the circle. Offensively, lead the nation in multiple categories.
Going to twist back, giving it a look. It's into the seats. No chance for Crenshaw there, just a row or 2 back. Folks are bundled up once again. Fortunately, it's not raining. If you didn't check the game yesterday, they were supposed to play at 1 o'clock. That got postponed. We played at 5. The rain finally stopped. Still a little chilly, still a little windy. Not exactly a pleasant Sunday.
A little chilly? 44 is quite chilly, I'd say.
So we lost a degree. It's 43, and the wind chill's definitely in the 30s. And that's ball 4 inside. So leadoff double by Maloney. A walk to Henry. And it's kind of looking eerily like the start of yesterday's game for Mizzou. The first 2 are on for Texas.
Well, and that last pitch by Sierra Harrison is that changeup, and that's a pitch that she hasn't really had the last couple years, something she's worked on.
Mia Scott bunts in the air right back to Harrison. And Mizzou gets the first out of the inning. Rare mistake for Scott to bunt one in the air. Sanderson's team gets the first out. Hosted the Supers here last year. We're falling to Duke. And this is a team looking to kind of turn things around. At 20-19 overall on the season, 2-8 in SEC play. Brings up Reese Atwood. Everyday catcher is the DP today. They do have a 3rd game, the final game of this series, coming up about 30 minutes after the conclusion of this one, which will be on SEC Network Plus on digital.
And there's certain hitters, Mark, in a lineup that you don't want to beat you, especially in this type of situation with runners on, and Reese Atwood is that player for me. If I'm that starting pitcher, she's one of those hitters that I do not want to take me deep.
Chance, will this stay in play? No, it will not. Behind the dugout, right into that gentleman's lap. So moved into 2nd place in career home runs at Texas with her 3rd inning homer yesterday, her 48th of her career, 14th of this season. Just 10 shy of the program record by Taylor Hoagland. Two.
And those are the types of swings and misses as a pitcher you're like, let's go. You get someone like Reese Atwood swinging big like that on a pitch, it gives you that little extra confidence out there in the circle. And she's by far one of the toughest hitters in the nation. You look at her numbers, they don't lie. You look at her numbers last year, incredible. 23 home runs, 90 ribbies, having another heck of a year.
There's a 19-game on-base streak into today. 14 homers, 52 RBIs on the season. Her second 50-plus RBI season. It's under that high foul ball. Daly with room near the coach's box makes the catch, and a big out for Mizzou. You get that dangerous bat of Reese Atwood. It was 2 on, nobody out. It was Scott Atwood coming up. Now it's 2 on, 2 outs.
Well, that's back-to-back. That's the pop-up on the bunt by Mia Scott, and then getting Reese Atwood to pop out in foul territory. If you're Sierra Harrison, you know that Jolie Mitchell swung at the first pitch of her at-bat yesterday, and that 3-run shot. Want to be precise with location at this point.
Right down central. You got away with one there.
It happens.
But you're right, Mitchell first pitch swinging in the first inning yesterday with 2 runners on and smacked one out to center. Her 10th home run of the year. Went after that pitch, she got way out in front.
Fuego. Just the heat on the outside part of the plate. And this is when you want to be smart, of course. We know it, 0-2. Sierra Harrison, quick 2 strikes.
Right back up the middle and into center field. Maloney heading for the plate. Linger's throw's cut off. Just when it looked like Mizzou may wiggle out of the jam, Texas does what they do, and Mitchell has her 35th RBI, and Texas has scored in the first.
Well, 0-2 right down Main Street isn't going to cut it at this point. We have to be better, especially when you get 2 quick strikes that way. And those are the little things. We saw it a little bit yesterday with McCann when she missed. You look at the Reese Atwood home run. It was right down the heart of the plate, too. And at this point, pitching, it's different now than it ever is, just based on how much data there is out there and scouting reports on you. Location is key, and it's going to beat hitting when it matters. If you're able to locate, it comes down to the pressure cooker. Can you execute big spots in big moments? Do you know counts? And Coach Larissa Anderson was talking about Marissa McCann and Harrison, like learning the difference between being a thrower and being a pitcher. There is a clear difference, Mark, in being able to understand when I go out there, if I'm going to face an offense more than one time, I'm going to be a pitcher. I have to find a way to understand how to make those adjustments, in-game adjustments, pitch to pitch. What am I looking for? What are the tendencies? It's hard now to be a pitcher more than it ever has been.
So much out there. The analytics, the video. There are no secrets.
It's too much out there.
You wouldn't have liked that back.
I'm very happy with the time that I played and no complaints.
Katie Stewart doing the catching in this game for Texas. 10 home runs of her own on the season. New pitcher Sierra Harrison, who's from the Kansas City area, Lee Summit, with the Lee Summit North High School. Missouri Gatorade High School Player of the Year in her time there. Now in her junior season.
And it's good to just sprinkle that in there. And Harrison at 1-2 counts throws that changeup 29.6% of the time, and you saw her throw that last pitch. It's just more so about making that an effective pitch. I think it's a little bit hard.
Jammed her up, fouled back.
And sometimes you're amped up, right? Like you're hosting the #1 team in the nation. There's action on the base pass. Heart rate may feel a little bit elevated at times, and sometimes that is why the changeup can maybe be a little bit faster or hotter out of the hand than you may like it. And when she settles in a little bit into this game, that's when you may see speed come down a little bit, not as elevated.
Stewart gets jammed and rolls it about a foot foul wide of third. Well, Harrison has been successful getting it in the kitchen as Stewart there, but she's been able to foul those pitches off.
I think if Sierra Harrison could spin that curveball with conviction, we've seen her go in the inner half to Katie Stewart a couple times here. We've seen her get some big swings and misses with that curveball. She hits a good spot. I'd like it.
30th pitch of the first inning. And it's up and away, and it jumps to a full count. We give the runners, Henry and Mitchell, a chance once the ball leaves the hand of Harrison to get a jump, and it's fouled back.
And at times that really can be the difference, learning being a pitcher and a thrower. Like, what is that clear difference? Well, the clear difference is not having those kind of waste pitches that at times you're not even getting a sniff from a hitter. No body movement, no nothing. It's a pitch that they want nothing to do with.
And on the ninth pitch of the at-bat, Stewart blasts it out left field. A 3-run shot for Stewart, number 11 on the season. And it's deja vu all over again for Texas. Another 4-spot today in the first.
Well, and this is just an off-speed pitch, and she's not fooled whatsoever. She knows it right off the bat. It gets out of here. You can see the frustration a little bit in Harrison. Hands go up. Sometimes you feel like you throw good quality pitches. And listen, that was a battle. She battled. She saw 9 pitches in that at-bat. There was not a whole lot that was fooling Stewart. But I think at times there could have been a couple more competitive pitches by Harrison that maybe seemed a little bit too much out of the zone.
A 3-run blast for Stewart gives her 60 RBIs on the season. That leads the Texas team. Well, a 4-spot yesterday in the first, and now a 4-spot so far today for Texas. They've gotten out of the gate quickly here in Como.
And I think at times it comes down to the pitchers and the starts that you're having as well, right? We've seen both these pitchers from Missouri a little bit struggle. Not saying they can't get ahead hitters. We've seen a ton of 0-2, 1-2 counts, but it's the battle back of Texas. And just as a pitcher, finding something where you can utilize the defense. It's not that you're always going to get the big strikeouts, but what are competitive pitches that I can keep in the ballpark, that I can use my defense, trust them behind me, and not feel like I need to do it all by striking everyone out?
Strike 3 to Vanessa Quiroga, and the strikeout first for Harrison, but 7 bat well on the season and in SEC play, and continues that, driving it to right center field. And a leadoff base hit for Crenshaw. He's now reached base in 17 straight games.
Number 7, the right fielder, Stefania Mariscado.
First hit of the series for the Tigers after they were no hit in 5 innings and run ruled yesterday by Tegan Cavan.
Well, and I expect nothing less from someone like Julia Crenshaw, who is big-time leader of this team in that leadoff spot for a reason. Her numbers are pretty incredible this year. She really sets the tone up there.
Stefania Mariscado playing right field at the plate for the Tigers. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Morgan paints the outside corner. Mac Morgan, Missouri native, Creighton, Missouri, went to Sherwood High School. Creighton is couple hours west of here. Peel down to first. Ed Clark says no swing. Jams Abriscato, foul tip into the mid of Stewart, and it's a strikeout.
This is NSYNC style dirty drop. This is just down and in. This is tough. This is high 60s, down and in, kind of one of those pitches where you have to recognize there's nothing I can do with it. I have to leave it alone. But also what makes it so challenging is it looks like it's up. Good fight back by Mac Morgan, especially after that leadoff base hit by Julia Crenshaw.
Make sure I got that straight. NSYNC style.
Dirty drop.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2005 hits. Sonos in the Lock household.
All right.
Play that a lot.
So if you had on your bingo card today, early reference to the 90s group NSYNC, check that one.
I mean, if you want to ask me my favorite, it's definitely Backstreet Boys, but it just didn't seem like the reference was right.
Suddenly the telecast has become about boy bands. The 1-2 pitch to Cara Daly. Mac Morgan played her freshman year at Arizona State, now in her third season in Austin with the Horns. Jams Daly. You know, you think Mac Morgan, she's primarily just trying to keep the ball down. That dirty drop.
Yeah. Well, you also think about how well she combos with someone like Tegan Cavan and why she can be such a solid number two is because she's just complete opposite. She's very much down in the zone. It's hard down. You see Tegan Cavan is primarily up. She's worked on that drop ball, has that rise ball as well as that change, but nowadays in this game, it really comes down to being able to have that pitching staff. It's tough to rely on one pitcher, especially when you get into the postseason. You know that that's just not going to work.
Daly gets jammed, a little pop-up that landed right on the chalk, but then kicks foul. I think he had some funky spin on it off the bat. Tegan Cavan going to use the sock cap to keep a little warm. By the way, most of your heat comes from the head. You want to keep that covered if you're cold, yeah. Well, it's been an issue for you this weekend.
Well, I didn't see you offering up any beanies for me. I mean, you're a native of the area.
3-2 pitch. Got her. Strike three on the inner half. And Morgan, after the base hit by Crenshaw, has come back and recorded back-to-back Ks.
This one looking, which goes to show how effective and how much spin is on this pitch. It catches Cara Daly just looking.
Towards third and caught on the fly softly by Mia Scott. And Mizzou wastes the leadoff base hit by game. Yeah, it was an incredible catch. In fact, we were talking with Mike White, the Longhorns head coach, and even he said to us that's one of the best catches he's ever seen made. So a compliment from the opposing head coach on the play made by Lingler yesterday. You know, in just 6-7 innings of offense that we've seen Texas here this weekend, we see why they are so good offensively, even when they get 2 strikes on them. They're so good at putting the ball in play, fouling off pitches until they get a mistake from the opposing.
Yeah, they're definitely makes it challenging on a pitcher. So you find yourself in this space of, oh, I'm able to get ahead. I got 0-2 here. Okay, now I can really play with the hitter, but such a patient eye at the dish where they're not really swinging at pitches way out of the zone and kind of at times maybe forces you to throw something a little bit closer in at times, and that's when they unleash.
Towards left center. She didn't have to leave her feet that time. Kaylee Lingler was a bit shallow, but was able to angle back and keep that from getting over her head.
You saw her in a little bit just simply because of Katie Bennett, and at times she is kind of that slapper from that 9 spot, can drop that bunt at any time. We've also seen her kind of get after something, but Langer just getting such good jumps out there.
See, Harrison had to throw 37 pitches in that first inning. She's trying to make it much more economical here in the second, and with the top of the order back up, a first pitch strike to Maloney.
Well, and a good changeup. Difference in speed on that one seemed a lot different than the Katie Stewart home run. And at times after that first inning, the nerves start to settle in a little bit, and it's like, let it rip.
Towards short, gonna have to hurry. Ball came up for Updegrove, and that was probably a good thing. Throw out the speedy Maloney, and they go in order. Like their chances.
It's going to want to be some redemption, for sure, from South Carolina, but.
What a second half for South Carolina, though. In the first game on Saturday is Mizzou comes up after just a 6-pitch inning for Sierra Harrison, set the horns down in order. Updegrove, shortstop fouls it away. An 8-pitch inning for her, for Harrison. Mac Morgan with her 1-1 pitch. Morgan, who pitched against Mizzou in the Clearwater Invitational a couple years ago in 2023. I think on February 10th of that year, 5 innings against Mizzou, allowed only 1 run. Mike White gave us the heads up that we will see Citlali Gutierrez at some point in the circle as well today for Texas. And that seems to be, as you mentioned earlier, Danielle, behind Kavan, who's going to really take the reins on that number 2 spot.
And they all complement each other so well because they are all uniquely different. But I think it comes down to being able to have that trust with someone that, you know, if Tegan Kavan needs a break or there's something, who can I put out there that is going to be able to rise to the occasion? And at times it's kind of gone with Citlali and Mac Morgan. So it's trying to figure out who's going to step up to that role and wants that role. And
it's obviously a big issue for a team that doesn't have many, if any, holes really trying to win that elusive national championship.
Yeah, and experienced a lot last year too, and I think that's also what makes them dangerous.
Strike 3 call on the inside corner. 3rd strikeout for Morgan gets Updegrove to begin the second.
Well, in the second, backwards looking K, and it's on this drop into those right-handed hitters, and the scouting report needs to be, and the information passed on to your teammates has to be that. When she's been able to get ahead of hitters, even if they've kind of worked the process of fouling pitches off, she tends to always come back to that down and in pitch to right-handed hitters to freeze them. And it's a hard pitch to be able to get your barrel inside of, especially with that good downward movement.
Soft roller, Caden Bennett up with it. Goes out Walker for out number 2. Five in a row retired by Morgan after Crenshaw had a base hit to begin the Mizzou first inning, which has been the only Tiger hit of this series. Mizzou all the way has also, by the way, been shut out in 3 of their last 6 games. Yesterday against Texas, once in that series at Ole Miss last weekend, and also in a midweek non-conference against Kansas.
And their strength of schedule has been tough. They've played some really tough teams. They have had to grind. I mean, Coach Larissa Anderson had mentioned that Ole Miss series and having to do the mic'd up Monday, and to get that win was just, they were mentally like tired after that game because it was so back and forth, and then they had the midweek game Wednesday.
Out in shallow center field drifts the second baseman, and that's Bennett making the catch to retire the side. And Mizzou goes